Point out the emergency exits. There are 2 in the back on either side and 1 on either side in the front. I also thank you for wearing a mask at this time and throughout the ceremony. To continue having our program, we must follow our guidelines. At this time, the West Virginia Army National Guard will present our colors, followed by the national anthem and Ms. Sarah Sines, Senior Class President, leading our Pledge of Allegiance.
A sight in camp in the daybreak, gray and dim.
As from my tent, I emerge so early sleepless.
As slow I walk in the cool, fresh air, the path near by the hospital tent.
3 forms I see on stretchers lying, brought out their untended lying.
Over each, the blanket spread, ample brownish woolen blanket.
Gray and heavy blanket, folding, covering all.
Curious, I halt and silent stand.
Then, with light fingers, I from the face of the nearest, the first, just lift the blanket.
Who are you, elderly man, so gaunt and grim, with well-grayed hair and flesh all sunken about the eyes?
Who are you, my dear comrade?
Then, to the second I step, who are you, my child and darling?
Who are you, sweet boy, with cheeks yet blooming?
Then to the third, a face nor child nor old, very calm as of beautiful yellow-white ivory.
Young man, I think I know you. I think this face is a face of Christ himself.
Dead and divine, and brother of all.
And here again he lies.
In the poetry of Walt Whitman, we find the truth about war. We never know the outcome of what will happen. The future result of war is definitely uncertain. But like Whitman stresses in his words, we need to understand the divine nature of a person that gives the ultimate sacrifice, an act that is so selfless, yet taken for granted by millions.
War rips men and women from their families, from their home, and from their country. Jonah Edward Kelley was drafted into World War II. He did not choose to serve, but was asked. He met that requirement and duty to serve his country without question, without doubt. How can we compare Jonah Edward Kelley, Kaiser's own World War II hero, to the face of Christ himself?
Did both of these men suffer like the allusion illustrates? Did Jonah Edward Kelley give his life for the good of others, just like the story of Christ? Did Ed Kelley leave this world to go to a better place?
Whitman says, and here again he lies. This is a line of a representation of the pain all people feel in losing each precious life to the face of war. Just like the 3 soldiers in Whitman's lines, we can't help but feel the admiration in the face of death. Even though Ed Kelley died, he is still divine. He is still our brother.
Today, we memorialize the 76th observance of Sergeant Jonah Edward Kelley Memorial Program. Even though Ed Kelley's body lies in Queens Point Cemetery in Kaiser, West Virginia, we often forget to remember the ultimate sacrifice of a man for the honor of his country, for his hometown, and most importantly, for himself and his family. Many of us, on a personal level, know what it feels like to lose someone close to us. As our country wages wars, we think of the loss of so many innocent lives. We are forever grateful for the men and women who protect and defend our country.
Jonah Edward Kelley was born on April 13, 1923. Kelley's birthday is the reason why our program is held every April, to honor the day Ed Kelley was brought into the world. If Ed Kelley was still alive, he would have turned 98 years old on his birthday.
Ed Kelley's family lived on Sharpless Street. His mother and father tried to raise Ed in a household that held high expectations and outstanding morals. Ed Kelley's home church was Grace United Methodist Church, located across from the old Kaiser High School. Ed was the middle child of 3 children to Jonah and Rebecca Kelley. His other 2 siblings were his sisters.
Ed was a typical youth. He really enjoyed swimming, riding bikes, and playing games. He loved Kaiser High School. One of his favorite hobbies was simply clowning around with his friends. Also, Ed was an active member of the Boy Scouts, and he really enjoyed hiking.
Jonah Edward Kelley was a scholar. He believed in sharing his talents in football and basketball by participating on each team. Ed was patriotic, religious, sober, law-abiding, and extremely proud of his community and country. He was the all-American boy in all aspects. He set an example for his peers by being humble and respecting others around him. Ed Kelley was not reactive, but proactive. His friends like Tom O'Connor and Eloise Wilson vouched for his character. They never once witnessed him getting out of line or even saying a curse word.
After graduating from Kaiser High School, Ed Kelley went on to attend Potomac State College. As stated before, Ed was drafted by the United States Army in 1943. He was called to serve his country in World War II and never once complained of his duty.
Jonah Edward Kelley of Kaiser, West Virginia, received the Congressional Medal of Honor posthumously for conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his own life. The Medal of Honor is a historic symbol of the bravest of the brave. It is the highest award for valor in action against an enemy force which can be bestowed upon an individual serving in the armed services of the United States of America. The citation that went along with the Medal of Honor details the action of our hero.
Staff Sergeant Jonah Edward Kelley, 311th Infantry Regiment, 78th Infantry Division, died in action on January 31, 1945, after a two-day battle at Kestronic, Germany. In charge of the leading squad of Company E, he heroically spearheaded the attack in furious house-to-house fighting.
Early on January 30th, he led his men through intense mortar and small arms fire and repeated assaults in barricaded houses. Although twice wounded, once when struck in the back, the second time when a mortar shell fragment passed through his left hand and rendered it practically useless, he refused to withdraw and continued to lead his squad after hasty dressings had been applied.
His serious wounds forced him to fire his rifle with one hand, resting it on rebel or over his left forearm. To blast his way forward with hand grenades, he set aside his rifle to pull the pins with his teeth while grasping missiles with his good hand. Despite his handicaps, he created tremendous havoc in the enemy ranks. He rushed into one house, killing 3 of the enemy and clearing the way for his squad to advance. On approaching the next house, he was fired upon from an upstairs window. He killed the sniper with a single shot and similarly accounted for another enemy soldier who ran from the cellar of the house.
As darkness came, he assigned his men to defensive positions, never leaving them to seek medical attention. At dawn the next day, the squad resumed the attack, advancing to a point where heavy automatic and small arms fire stalled them. Despite his wounds, Sergeant Kelley moved out alone, located an enemy gunner, dug in under a haystack, and killed him with rifle fire. He returned to his men and found that a German machine gun from a well-protected neighboring house still held up the advance.
Ordering the squad to remain in comparatively safe positions, he valiantly dashed into the open and attacked the position single-handedly through a hail of bullets. He was hit several times and fell to his knees when within 25 yards of his objective. He summoned his waning strength and emptied his rifle in the machine gun nest, silencing the weapon before he died.
The superb courage, aggressiveness, and utter disregard for his own safety displayed by Sergeant Kelley inspired the men he led and enabled them to penetrate the last line of defense held by the enemy in the village of Kestronic.
Ed Kelley of Kaiser, West Virginia, was buried in Margarten U.S. Military Cemetery in Marstick, Holland, after his death in early 1945. It would be 3 years before Jonah Edward Kelley would be buried and laid to rest in his home soil in Queens Point Cemetery. Ed Kelley was only 21 years old when he died valiantly.
In addition to the Congressional Medal of Honor, Kelley was awarded the Purple Heart and Bronze Star. His actual medals are housed in our school. When you walk past the Ed Kelley Memorial in our school, a feeling of pride should overwhelm you, knowing that he fought for you and died for you. One of World War II's greatest heroes was Staff Sergeant Jonah Edward Kelley, an alumnus of Kaiser High School.
Ed Kelley was not the only man from Kaiser who sacrificed his life for his country. Many typical American lads had their lives interrupted to serve their country. Later in the program, when roll call is given, there are 43 names of men from our area who lost their lives during World War II. It is important to understand how much we appreciate the loss of each life for our freedom.
In our audience today, we have faithful members of the 78th Lightning Infantry Division who are willing to also make the ultimate sacrifice and be brother to all for our freedom.
Many times they were in harm's way, and only by the grace of God did they survive their circumstance.
We wish to acknowledge the members of the 78th who are here with us today to honor the memory of Staff Sergeant Jonah Edward Kelley. Would you please stand and be recognized? Stuart Brando, traveling with his friend Vito Dominic from Woodridge, New Jersey, has attended our program since 1980. We love Stu at Kaiser High School and always look forward to seeing him at our program every year. Thank you, Stu and Vito.
Would all active, reserve, retired, and newly enlisted military personnel please rise? We want to thank you for your dedication, your service, and your sacrifice for the preservation of our country. Because of all of you, we enjoy the privileges and rights of our American liberty and freedom. Let us celebrate them with a round of applause. Thank you. You may be seated.
Today, we honor 3 young men who held the ideals and qualities that Staff Sergeant Jonah Edward Kelley possessed. The winner, like Ed Kelley, has to be an all-around American boy, scholar, and athlete. He is also expected to excel in scholastic standing, where the young man must display at least a 2.0 grade point average.
Nominees must be eligible for sports 3 of the 4 years at Kaiser High School by participating in either football or basketball. These are the 2 sports identified because Ed Kelley participated in these sports while attending our high school.
Other areas that are considered in the candidates and ultimately the winner are citizenship, morals, sportsmanship, church attendance, community and country loyalty, integrity, sobriety, and the observance of the law. The winner is ultimately selected after writing an essay for a special anonymous committee.
Through each young man that represents Jonah Edward Kelley and his ideals, Kaiser is truly blessed. Each candidate deserves the honor of this award. Since 1946, we were lucky enough to have men that represent all aspects of Ed Kelley. We would like to thank all past nominees and winners for your attendance and commitment to this program for Kaiser High School. Kaiser High School and our community are so grateful that you continue to keep his memory alive and strive to become the best individuals that you can be, just like him. Would you please stand at this time to be recognized as a group? Thank you. You may be seated.
At this time, we would like to recognize and congratulate this year's nominees for this prestigious award. You are honored because of our hero and brother, Jonah Edward Kelley. Let us review our candidates one more time before the winner is announced.
As you view our screen, you will see our first nominee, Dratis Marcel Allen. Dre is the son of Latia Washington and Dwight Allen. He has participated all 4 years on the football and track and field teams. He's also served as captain in both his junior and senior years. Dre has a cumulative grade point average of 4.03. Dre participates in activities at Kaiser High School like Kaiser Crazies and drama. The church he attends is Second Baptist Church. His volunteer work and community service include multiple years of aiding the local food pantry, helping with the K-8 track meet, and assisting with the youth football camp. In the future, Dre hopes to contribute to improving our environment as an engineer. When asked who inspired him the most, Dre said his mother. He feels his mom has overcome struggles that many people couldn't to become successful in life.
The second nominee is Derek Harmon Broadwater. Derek's parents are Jeff and Mindy Broadwater. Derek has participated in golf, basketball, and baseball all 4 years at Kaiser High School. He was also a participant in the archery club. Currently, Derek holds a grade point average of 3.27. Derek attends Cross Independent Church and Keymount Chapel. He has completed community service by participating in his church's Christmas and Easter programs. After graduating, Derek wants to attend college and play baseball. His biggest inspiration in his life is his father, Jeff Broadwater. Derek says that his dad is a good, hardworking, and God-fearing man who is very successful.
Last but not least, we present to you our third nominee, Bradley Ryan Summers. Bradley's parents are Shannon and Royce Summers. Bradley has participated in football and baseball all 4 years at Kaiser High School. Academically, Bradley holds a 4.0 grade point average. He has been a member of Kaiser Crazies, Student Council, and FFA for all 4 years. Bradley has volunteered at Ruritan meetings and has helped with activities at Potomac Highlands Guild, and has also donated blood on a regular basis. Bradley plans on working at the stone quarry after high school until he can become a bus driver. The biggest inspiration in Bradley's life is his mom. He says that his mom has always inspired him to be the best that he can be and to always work hard in life.
God bless our veterans, the men and women who died in the face of war. And God bless the memory of our hometown hero, Staff Sergeant Jonah Edward Kelley. For the youth who sit in the audience today, we only hope you continue to keep his memory alive and strive to become the best individuals that you can be, just like him.
Sharon Creech, a celebrated novelist and author of Walk Two Moons, has written 7 novels for young readers. In a poem written by Creech entitled The Survivors, we understand the ultimate sacrifice of Staff Sergeant Jonah Edward Kelley and any other veteran that has given time, dedication, and ultimately his or her life.
All I want is the return of husbands and wives, sisters and brothers, children, colleagues, friends.
That is all.
It is so little and so much.
We can help them recover and regain, restore and resume.
We can comfort their spouses, their children, their brothers and sisters, their parents and grandparents, colleagues and friends.
We can share their sorrow, loss, burden.
We can remember.
It is so little and so much.
Today we ask you to dedicate yourself to remembering the ultimate sacrifice of our brother to all, Jonah Edward Kelley. We also memorialize any other person who has lost his or her life being selfless.
We salute you, appreciate you, and value you.
Thank you, Jonah Edward Kelley.
William Lehman.
Absent.
Thomas E. Amtower.
Absent.
Benjamin Leary.
Absent.
Woodrow Barr.
Absent.
Raymond L. Leary.
Absent.
Robert E. Barrett.
Absent.
Floyd Lynch.
Absent.
James G. Bosley.
Absent.
Anthony Mercury.
Absent.
Eldon Bowers.
Absent.
Donald D. McKee.
Absent.
Walter Byford.
Absent.
Kenneth R. Michael.
Absent.
Ralph S. Kaufman.
Absent.
Eston C. Miller.
Absent.
Donald R. Compton.
Absent.
Ager Myers.
Absent.
Leroy Davis.
Absent.
Walter L. Nadine.
Absent.
Claude E. Dawson.
Absent.
John C. North.
Absent.
Vernon Ellifritz.
Absent.
John R. Offit.
Absent.
Orlando Fazenbaker.
Absent.
James Quinn.
Absent.
James E. Fortney.
Absent.
William E. Shank.
Absent.
Raymond L. Green.
Absent.
Lawrence Shobe.
Absent.
Craig W. Haynes.
Absent.
Robert E. Smith.
Absent.
Roy H. Hanlon.
Absent.
Robert Stetler.
Absent.
Charles J. Johnson.
Absent.
Robert T. Taylor.
Absent.
J. Edward Kelley.
Absent.
Joseph C. Weaver.
Absent.
Keith C. Kephart.
Absent.
Rex Wortman.
Absent.
Bernard Kimmel.
Absent.
Joseph S. White.
Absent.
William Kirkendall.
Absent.
Gene Wolford.
Absent.
I will begin with introductions with our stage guests. Mr. Jeffrey Newland, President of the J. Edward Kelley Society, and Mr. Johnny Haynes, Sr., past Governor and Administrator of the Moose Lodge 662 and former Principal of Kaiser High School. We will now recognize the families of our J. Edward Kelley nominees. Gentlemen and families, please stand until all of your family members are called and hold your applause until the last family member is named. Dratis Marcel Allen. Latia Washington, mother. Dwight Andre Allen, father. Robert Washington, stepfather. Trevon Taylor, brother. Tiavion Washington, sister. Chris and Eva Taylor, grandparents. And Douglas and Elsa Twyman, great-grandparents. Thank you. Derek Harmon Broadwater. Mendy Broadwater, mother. Jeff Broadwater, father. Madeline Broadwater, sister. Noah Broadwater, brother. Ariana Broadwater, sister. Richard and Ellen Broadwater, grandparents. Nancy Brathwaite, grandmother. And Darlena Grady, aunt. Bradley Ryan Summers. Shannon Summers, mother. Royce Summers, father. Jaden Summers, brother. Kenny Summers, brother. And Kenny and Teresa Loy, grandparents. In attendance with us today are Superintendent Troy Ravenscroft, and earlier we recognized Stuart Brandow, 78th Lightning Division World War II veteran. Mr. Brandow, thank you for your service and your commitment. And now I will introduce former J. Edward Kelley nominees. When your name is called, please stand and remain standing. And please hold your applause until all names are called. 1946, Robert Dorsey. 1948, Dallas Adams. 1975, Robert Eagle. 1979, Clay Sprouse. 1981, Jeffrey Kuhn. 1983, Scott Roball. 1998, Lucas Taylor and John Haynes Jr. 2004, Matthew Altabello. 2003, Jeffrey Newland. 2005, Michael Staggers. 2008, Tyler Logston and Blake Mangold. 2007, Jason Lamka. 2010, Robert Del Signor. 2015, Hunter Cashmere and Ryan Streets. 2017, Camden White. 2018, Ryan Spencer. 2019, Jacob Beiser. 2020, Sean C. 1978, Randy Cirillo. Thank you. And at this time, Mr. Haynes will present the award.
It is indeed an honor for me to be here on behalf of the officers and members of the Kaiser Moose Lodge. Kaiser Moose Lodge started this award in 1946 and has continued the award every year since. I would like to congratulate these young men and their families. This is quite an honor. What I'll do, I'll ask them to stand. I will announce the winner, and then they can each come up and have their responses. Each of the young men will receive a wristwatch from the Kaiser Moose Lodge, and the dial, the face of the watch, has a likeness of Jonah Edward Kelley with the 78th Lightning Division symbol as part of the face also. The 76th recipient of the Jonah Edward Kelley Award is Dratis Marcel Allen.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I would like to say what an honor it is to be nominated for such a prestigious award. Alongside two of the most outstanding young men, congratulations, Bradley and Derek. I couldn't imagine sharing the stage with more qualified nominees than these two. For making this possible, I would like to formally recognize the 78th Lightning Division members, Superintendent Ravenscroft, and Mineral County Board of Education, Kaiser Moose Lodge 662, American Legion, Boys Hauser Post 41, the Ed Kelley Society, Vice Principal of Kaiser High School, Mrs. Connor, staff and students of Kaiser High School and Mineral County Technical Center, and all other distinguished guests, such as all veterans and current members of our armed forces, and of course, Ms. Rotruck and the lovely volunteers that established this program. Thank you for all you do. However, we know this day is not about us, but rather an individual who gave a prime example of sacrifice. We recognize Mr. Jonah Edward Kelley for the acts of bravery he has committed, as well as his life before his fallen services that have created a path for many of us. Mr. Kelley was defined as a natural-born leader throughout his time here at KHS, as well as on the battlefields during World War II. Through the determination of his lifetime, he exhibited characteristics not many others could. Mr. Kelley was known for his relentless determination no matter the circumstances of the situation. He embodied other traits such as endless pride, integrity, responsibility, courteousness, as well as courageousness. Many, like me, admire such excellence in one individual. Unfortunately, at the young age of 21, we lost Mr. Kelley in a small town in Germany. However, he died a heroic death by confirming the safety of his troops right before he gave the ultimate sacrifice to save others. And for this, his death was not in vain, as he saved lives with his sacrifice. Mr. Jonah Edward Kelley possessed the attributes to resemble a true hero to me. Yet, there are many others who make the same sacrifices Mr. Kelley made on a daily basis. For that, I would like to thank former veterans and active members of our armed forces. These individuals evoke such bravery by putting their own health aside to assure people like you and I can live freely. Your acts never go unnoticed, but could never receive enough recognition. It is inspirational people like these, as well as my family, friends, teachers, and coaches who have made me who I am today. I would like to thank Ms. Loxton and Ms. Perano for always giving me a challenge in class instead of letting me off easy. You two together have taught me many lessons, not only to guide me through core subjects, but also through life. Coach Beiser, I know you are no longer my coach, but you will always be considered family. You have paved a way for my success at Kaiser High School by giving me the opportunity to be a part of a brotherhood. Thank you for teaching me morals to carry on and off the field and embedding the thought of respect in our everyday lives. Coach Stephen and Coach Staggers, you all have played a key role in developing my character today, and I appreciate that. Unfortunately, our time together was cut short, but I still wouldn't give up the memories we made together for anything. And Coach Stephen, I personally want you to know you are doing a great job as head coach. Coach Fury, what isn't there to say? You are single-handedly the most intelligent person I know, which makes it pretty easy to take your advice at times. You have guided me in the classroom as well as the track. You always believed in me even when I became doubtful. I will always remember when you said to me, don't get caught up trying to impress the wrong crowd. And from that point on, my perspective of others' opinions was altered. To my friends I have made or kept throughout the 4 years, thank you. Thank you for endless memories and countless hours of enjoyment. I'm so proud of how far you've all come, and I can't wait to see what God has planned for you all. The McLeod family. I just wanted to give you all a special thanks for all you have done for me. Words can't even describe how grateful I am for you all. Thank you for giving me a second family I can always come to when I'm looking for help. You have saved me more times than I can count. I appreciate you all. Tony, I can't thank you enough for all you have done for me and my family. You have revealed to me many aspects of maturity, which have benefited me today. Thank you. Tiavian, I know we don't always see eye to eye, but I truly am proud of the young woman you are becoming. You continue to amaze me in ways you don't even realize, and I know you are going to make it far in life. You'll always be my little sister, and I'll always be here for you through anything. I love you. Trevon, through time, we grew apart. But that doesn't change the fact you're still my older brother. You too make me and others proud as you continue to succeed in life. If you ever need anything, you know you can always come to me. I'm here for you always. I love you too. Uncle Fur and Uncle Mar, thank you both for being such great role models in my life. You both played a key role in determining my future desires. I couldn't have asked for any better mentors by my side. I know I have your all's best interest, even if it is from a distance. And for that, I thank you. I love you guys. Mima and Papap, thank you for all you do, and you have done for me and my family. You two gave us all a place to stay and put food on the table when times weren't ideal. And for that, we are forever grateful. I want to formally apologize for all the grays me and my siblings have caused throughout the years, especially you, Papa. I love you. Grandma and Granddad, you both have shown me what it takes to make it in life after school. You two are the hardest workers I know. Thank you for always believing in me, and telling me what I needed to hear and not what I wanted to. I love you both. Mom, last but certainly not least, I wanted to start off by saying how proud I am of you. I noticed how much you sacrificed for me to have what I needed in life. You are, by far, the strongest woman I know. Thank you endlessly for what you have done. I love and appreciate you more than you'll ever know. I realize you feel like you need to make up for lost time through my childhood, but I want you to know I forgive you for everything, and it's okay. In fact, I want to thank you for everything. Our hardships we faced have shaped me into the man I am today. Mentally and morally. I'm sorry for not appreciating you sooner. Even though it wasn't an ideal relationship between us until recently, I wouldn't give you up for the world. I love you no matter what. And I wanted to go off script and for a moment, so if this sounds improvised, it is. Love you. Thank you for everything. I'm sorry for not seeing that sooner. I cherish you till my last breath. Finally, we realize that today is not all about me and my fellow nominees, but rather the past sacrifices Mr. Kelley, as well as others in the audience, have made. However, I want to include you as viewers in today's program. I want to leave you with a challenge. This challenge can be done by anyone, but does have one requirement, and that is desire. Since life revolves around improvement, I'm challenging you to make progress every day in any way possible. I'm giving you this challenge because it helped me throughout my past 4 years. With this said, the progress made does not have to be substantial. It can be as small as you want. Just improve. And that, I would like to say, I'm proud of you in advance. You got this. Thank you, and God bless.
Derek Harmon Broadwater.
I would like to start by thanking God for allowing me to have the opportunity to participate in this ceremony to honor Jonah Edward Kelley. I would also like to thank the 78th Lightning Division members, Superintendent Ravenscroft and the Monroe County Board of Education, Kaiser Moose Lodge 662, the American Legion Boyce Hauser Post 41, the Ed Kelley Society, Vice Principal of Kaiser High, Ms. Connor, staff and students of Kaiser High School and Monroe County Technical Center, and Mrs. Rochuk. Jonah Edward Kelley was a God-fearing young man with tremendous character and seemingly unlimited athletic abilities. He excelled in his academics and was a natural-born leader. A Kaiser High graduate with a bright future. As we all know, Ed Kelley's future was cut short in a selfless, heroic act that saved lives and changed the course of World War II. Thomas Jefferson once said, "We have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." This is a right we as Americans are allowed to exercise every day. We enjoy the freedoms and opportunities that most people just take for granted. However, these rights and freedoms comes at a high price. Ed Kelley and his family paid that price when he sacrificed his life for his country. From the start of the American Revolution to the soldiers we have stationed abroad today, American soldiers and their families have been paying the price for our freedom. We often forget, or at least fail to appreciate the sacrifices they make. As we remember Ed Kelley, let's also remember the million of other soldiers that he represents and the sacrifices they have continued to make. It is an honor to be nominated for this award, especially considering what and who this award represents. I would like to congratulate Dre and Bradley on their nominations as well. They are both great people, and I know God has great plans for each of them. Though our accomplishments pale in comparison to Ed Kelley, I'm thankful for family, friends, and coaches who have helped me get to this point in my life. I would like to give special recognition to Mom and Dad for raising us in church and always encouraging me to follow my dreams and your unconditional love and endless support. I am more grateful than you will ever know, and for all that you have given me. I love y'all. Grandma Nancy and Ellen, thank you for supporting our family and being a voice of comfort when things don't go my way. Pap, for being my best friend and all along front porch talks. My little brother Noah, thank you for being my fishing partner and always making everything a competition in life and pushing me to be better. Maddie and Ariana, thank you for your love and your support and your endless supply of laughs. Aunt Dee, thank you for always being there to support me and always being my loudest fan at all my games. Coaches Josh Blow and Darren Matlick, who have been lucky enough to coach Noah, Maddie, and myself. Two selfless, humble coaches that put 110% into their coaching and helping us develop as players and as individuals. I would also like to thank Coach Haynes, Coach Kunis, Coach Roball, and Coach Streets for pushing me all the time and giving all your time to make me a better person and athlete. I want to thank Trevor, Bradley, and Vito for being my best friends and for all the laughs and great high school memories they gave me. John 15:13 says, "Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends." Jonah Edward Kelley is a great example of this. He laid down his life for his country and his comrades. Let us remember Ed Kelley as a hero and look to him as an example. We look to him as an example of how to be a selfless leader, an example of how to put the same effort in the classroom as you do on the court, and most importantly, an example of how to put God first in your life. We are living in a country that is divided where hate is publicized much more than love. I encourage everyone that is listening to use Ed Kelley's demonstration of love for our country to rekindle your own. As Americans, we need to follow God, love our country, support each other despite our differences, and appreciate and support our veterans, active military, and their families who have sacrificed their dreams so we have the opportunity to chase ours. Thank you, and God bless.
Bradley Ryan Summers.
Thanks, sir. I'd like to start today by thanking the 78th Lightning Division members, Superintendent Ravenscroft and Mineral County Board of Education, Kaiser Moose Lodge 662, the American Legion Boyce Hauser Post 41, the Ed Kelley Society, the Vice Principal, Ms. Connor, the Mineral County Technical Center, the Kaiser High School students and staff, and all other distinguished guests. Today, like we do every year, we are here to honor the memory of Ed Kelley, a respectful, honorable, and honest man, a man that is not like the rest. He was a patriot and above all else an excellent person. Ed Kelley lived his life working towards greatness. We are lucky to have such an example to live by. Not many towns get this. I've been blessed to be standing on this stage along with two of my great friends for following the ideals of Jonah Edward Kelley. This has been a goal of mine since I attended my first ceremony in the 8th grade. Every year I push myself to academic and athletic excellence, just as Ed Kelley did before he selflessly gave his life in World War II. Ed Kelley set the standards for what a student athlete at KHS and an American should be, and I have to thank him for providing such a perfect example to follow. I want to start my thank yous off with who I thank every morning. I want to give a big thank you to God, because without him I'm nothing, and with him I can do everything. Next off, I want to thank my mom. Mom, you are amazing and strong. I've seen you at your best and I've seen you at your worst, but you have never second thought about giving me a hand when I needed one. You also taught me that with your family and friends by your side, you will never be alone, and that is something that I will cherish and take with me forever. I love you, Mom. I want to thank my dad. Dad, you are awesome. Thank you for always being there when I needed advice or whenever I wanted to talk to you about something serious. You taught me passion is what drives you to do better, and that started from the day you taught me how to catch a football, and look what I did with that. Next, I want to thank my two brothers. Jaden and Kenny, you two are ridiculously awesome. And I'm so happy that you two are my brothers. We have not always gotten along, but that's just how it goes. I love you guys. I also want to thank not only my grandfather, but also my best friend, Big Kenny. You not only taught me respect and how to be a gentleman, but you taught me to always set aside time to relax and not to work so hard. I will cherish our many hunting memories. The love you taught me for the woods will never go away. I love you. No. Thank you for the many last-minute plans and the long phone calls that we could talk about whatever came to mind. Y'all have always been there for me, and you taught me what it truly means to be a friend and to be family. I love you. Next, I want to thank my many great friends. Everyone always said that through high school you meet the people you would take with you for the rest of your life. I sure did meet a lot of people through high school. I met these two people up here, Dre and Derek. We've made so many memories together. I have two friends out in the audience that have become my best friend. Hunter and Haley, thank you for the many cherished memories. You guys are amazing, and I hope y'all don't plan on going anywhere. Next, I want to thank my many amazing teachers. I've had so many amazing teachers. If I thanked them all, we'd be here all night. The three that come to mind right off the bat is Miss Logston, Mr. Zaffron, and Miss Sines. Thank you all for everything y'all have done for me. The constant push to be better, the never letting me settle, and the always keeping me on my toes. For all that, I'm forever grateful. Thank you to all my coaches. Again, if I thanked them all, we'd be here all night. But one in particular that has made a huge impact on my life is Coach Staggers. I know we didn't always agree on everything, and when you spend 5 hours a day for 4 years, for 6 months at a time, you don't always get along. You've taught me responsibility, accountability, and to always listen. You taught me that just because you're not the biggest does not mean that you're not the best. Thank you. Like I've been saying, if I were to thank everybody that has impacted my life, we'd be here forever. So for everyone that I missed, thank you. I appreciate everything y'all did for me. But last but not least, I have a special thank you. I want to thank my godmother, Julie, because I know she's up in heaven looking down at me right now, giving this speech today, smiling. She was always there to help me and to encourage me, and she was always there and excited to see me and support me. This ceremony was the last thing I was able to tell her before God called her home, and I can't explain how excited she was. The one thing that everybody that I thank today have in common, they all taught me one thing. There's 1,000,001 excuses for why you didn't do something, but you are the only excuse and the only one to blame for having not done something. So today, I'm going to challenge every single one of you to not use those excuses, to do what makes you happy, to push yourself to do better. I want to challenge you to follow in Ed Kelley's steps, to excel in academics and sports, to always be respectful and honest, to show patriotism, and to be kind to all. Following Ed Kelley's example will take you far and help you accomplish any goal you put your mind to. Thank you, and God bless you. Have a great day.
Hello, I'm Jeff Newland. I'm president of the Ed Kelley Society. And the society was created years ago to maintain the spirit and the remembrance of Mr. Kelley. And as Mr. Haynes mentioned, for the past 76 years, we've welcomed in 3 new members, and we're honored this year as well to take in Dre, Derek, and Bradley into the society. And just have one quick thought I'd like to share with everybody. I've thought over the past year of trying to put myself in the shoes of being a student in this type of environment and atmosphere, and it's difficult to relate to what challenges you guys may have had. I can't imagine being a student today. Maybe it's going virtual, maybe it's being in class full-time, part-time, maybe you're being quarantined, maybe you're in a sport and your roster's wiped out for quarantine and you can't play for a couple weeks. But there's a term in the engineering world, you've probably heard of it, it's called resiliency. And what that means is basically it's a material that takes on a stress, it gets deformed, it gets smushed around. And then when you take off that stress, it springs back, and it's just like it was before, or maybe even stronger. I can't help but think about the students and the nominees in this environment, how that's so relatable. So whatever you're doing in your life after this, if you're going to college, if you're going into the military, if you're going straight into the workforce, if you can try to maintain that resiliency spirit and mental attitude, it'll take you so far. And this isn't the last challenge you're going to face in your life. It's certainly not the worst challenge you're likely going to face in your life. So just try to maintain that resiliency, and it'll get you far with everywhere that you go. I'd like to thank the high school for the ceremony. As always, it's great. Did a great job pulling it together. There's a lot of work that goes on here, and that doesn't go unnoticed. And again, I'd like to congratulate Dre, Derek, and Bradley for being the new nominees into the 2021 Kelley Society. Thank you.
In conclusion, Kaiser High School administration thanks the following people and businesses. Please hold your applause. Student presenters and stage crew: Harris Boggs, Marina Clark, Gracie Kreitz, Courtney Yellowfritz, Sierra Hester, Brenna McLeod, Kirsten Miller, Rachel Rutherford, Sarah Sines, Noah Sprouse, Abby Sperling, and Taylor Stewart. Secretaries Missy Guy and Karen McRoby, Scott Fury, Jill Blacka, Meredith Eidelman, Holly Robinette, Francie Lyons, Nick Whiteman, John Haynes Sr. and Jeffrey Newland, Ryan Brenneman, the Kaiser Moose Lodge 662, the Edward Kelley Society, members of the 78th Lightning Division and their families, American Legion Boyce Hauser Post 41, the Kaiser High School Student Council, Allegheny Media, Liz Beavers, the Mineral News Tribune and the Cumberland Times News, WKLP, Mrs. Sines' floriculture class at the Mineral County Technical Center, and Smith Funeral Home. At this time, we ask that Ms. Carrie Rotruck come to the stage. She is responsible for the script composition and is the event coordinator who puts this program together. We thank you, and we appreciate everything you do. Thank you. As we conclude our program, thank you for joining us in person, watching our live stream, and listening through radio. Let us always remember the service of our veterans and that of our active military. Students, you will report to first block for attendance. Tech Center students will report to the cafeteria, and you will hear an announcement concerning lunch. Thank you very much.